such a different thing than a guy being a casting agent. The actress.
Because there's been a lot of drama lately, and one of the things that happened was somehow or another my name got entered into this thing, and I don't want to get into it in too much detail.
They were saying I know some people personally who said it's anti-men. We put all men as men. It's one category. We're not going to judge people as individuals. And people that are screaming for attention at the front of the line of a lot of these things, a lot of them have like dark secrets themselves.
Called him and I said, listen, I don't know what kind of, I'm just hearing about this nonsense now, but I love you. I would never let anybody talk bad about you.
Joe Rogan, a prominent celebrity known for his candid discussions, has been fearless in shedding light on the darker aspects of Hollywood through his podcasts and personal revelations. Recently, he has once again emerged with a startling revelation, this time focusing on the questionable practices employed by casting agents in Hollywood when selecting female talent. As anticipation grows, people are eager to hear what he has to reveal next. So let's dive in to uncover the details.
Well, this was the thing was she wasn't in any way overweight. Like, she was beautiful. She had a great body.
It seems like Joe has had serious issues with the elites of the industry from the very start, and the speculations grew stronger when in the 1951st episode of the JRE podcast, the UFC commentator brought on YouTuber CoffeeZilla as his guest. Their conversation revolved around the challenges and issues plaguing Hollywood. Rogan highlighted an interesting perspective, stating that in the industry, individuals often receive a lot of attention and admiration when they are successful and thriving. However, when actors face difficulties or their careers hit a rough patch, they often find themselves isolated, with few willing to engage in conversations with them.
You've developed your own show and you've created your own thing. You haven't been chosen. In Hollywood, the problem is you're being chosen for everything.
Joe Rogan expressed concerns about the safety of young artists, particularly females in Hollywood, citing the unsettling practices employed by Hollywood elites in the casting process. During the discussion on his podcast, the 55-year-old host emphasized how Hollywood actors often feel compelled to shape their personalities to align with the expectations of those who hold the power to grant them roles in movies. He said, "In Hollywood, the problem is that you're chosen for everything, so you're being cast in these things. You have to deal with people that approve you or pick you. So you're formulating your personality based on whatever the zeitgeist is, whatever the ideology of most of the producers are." Joe further delved into the hypothetical scenario of how Hollywood might operate with a right-wing ideology, sparking speculations that he was addressing the questionable casting practices involving females in the industry. However, Rogan clarified that actors often conform to industry norms not out of personal conviction, but to fit in and secure a successful career. He argued that these actors shape their beliefs and opinions based on what they perceive as the path to success, rather than rigidly adhering to any specific ideology.
So you have to deal with people that approve you or pick you. So you're formulating your personality based on whatever the zeitgeist is.
People's speculations on this matter are grounded in a history of such examples that have been visible from the outset. The public is well aware of the demands placed on young female actors by casting agents when they enter the industry with the intention of contributing to society through their work. A good example is Harvey Weinstein. Whether it's the production of films like The Artist, Shakespeare in Love, or The English Patient, the Queens-born Harvey Weinstein, a serial predator, has consistently demonstrated his talent for creating influential period films.
Dad would do well, and then he'd crash well and crash. So I never knew where we stood in the socioeconomic order. That's why I like making movies about underdog.
Amidst the Best Picture Oscars awarded to these movies, perhaps he should have taken the time to study Hollywood's history more closely. His involvement in the casting couch practice, where powerful white men exploit young actresses striving to establish themselves in the film industry, reflects a historical precedent as old as the movie business itself.
Women have the right to say no. A no is a no, regardless of the circumstances. And I told Harvey no.
Long before the era of Harvey Weinstein, there was Louis B. Mayer, a co-founder of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios back in 1924. Mayer, often regarded as the epicenter of this type of A, possessed the resources, motivation, and influence, along with a crucial tool in this disturbing puzzle, the power to manipulate. If women didn't acquiesce to his demands, he would wield the threat of destroying their careers or those of their loved ones. The perils for women in Hollywood are embedded, like landmines, from an actress's debut to her swan song, says film critic and historian Carrie Rickey, where moguls like Harry Cohn reputedly wouldn't cast starlets like Marilyn Monroe and Kim Novak unless they auditioned in bed. Allegedly, Louis B. Mayer's misconduct extended to include actions such as groping the teenage Judy Garland, as reported in Gerald Clark's book, Get Happy, The Life of Judy Garland. There were also accounts of Mayer conducting meetings with the young woman seated on his lap, his hands inappropriately placed on her C.
And he expanded his chest over me like this. Every red-blooded man in the audience would want you for his girl.
When the studio system consolidated in the late 20s and early 30s as talkies eclipsed silent movies, the men in charge of the Big Seven notoriously abused their power. According to Beauchamp, Harry Cohn at Columbia Pictures and Jack Warner at Warner Bros. Were A with a capital A. Mayer believed he'd built his studio brick by brick. It was his town, and he was king, so therefore he deserved all the perks of the kingdom. That was the attitude of most studio heads. Marilyn Monroe's life story reflects a pattern where she seemed to be passed from one influential figure to another, be it a president, playwright, or center fielder. This echoes a similar narrative to that of Judy Garland, where despite their talent, beauty, and charisma, the harsh realities of the entertainment industry took a toll on their self-esteem, leading to issues like DA and, tragically, even S. It's a stark reminder of an industry that could be unforgiving towards women. And once she told this to her fellow actor.
And then she told me, she said, watch out for the wolves in Hollywood, honey.
The allure of Hollywood once appeared deceptively simple. Arrive in the city with a suitcase and a captivating face, and await discovery by an agent or, ideally, a movie executive. The path to stardom seemed straightforward. This seemingly uncomplicated formula was the aspiration of countless hopeful Hollywood starlets and the myth that surrounded Hollywood's golden age. Yet the truth is that, for a significant number of aspiring movie stars, their journey in the film industry began with a far more troubling reality: SE on the notorious casting couch. This sinister practice was particularly associated with individuals like Harry Cohn, one of Hollywood's most influential and regrettably brutal figures.
There was a tradition, it was some kind of a tradition of art and money, you know, an amalgam of art and money.
During his tenure as the head of Columbia Pictures from 1919 to 1958, it is reported that Cohn often pressured individuals seeking stardom to engage in SR in exchange for potential opportunities in the entertainment industry. As a prominent figure in Hollywood, he wielded significant influence and frequently leveraged it to his advantage. People believe that Cohn played a role in formalizing the infamous casting couch culture, where aspiring actresses were expected to offer favors to influential executives in exchange for a shot at a film role.
I went down to the barber shop, and Harry Cohn was in the barber chair, straight. He was being shaven, straight out, flat out.
A survivor of Cohn's actions alleged that he coerced her into adopting a more anglicized stage name before she inked a contract with Columbia. In conjunction with her spouse, they applied pressure on her to alter her appearance, which included dyeing her hair and enduring painful electrolysis treatments, all in pursuit of a potential career in the spotlight. Disturbingly, when she declined his advances, Cohn engaged in stalking behavior, invaded her personal life, and even covertly wiretapped her dressing room. "I'm never afraid of anybody, not even Harry Cohn," Hayworth told the New York Times in 1970. "Why should I be afraid of him? I made a lot of money for him. I was attractive, that was all. He didn't give a damn about anything else." Regrettably, such cases continue to occur in the entertainment industry, with Harvey Weinstein serving as a prominent example. In 2017, the New York Times and the New Yorker published extensive investigative reports, which implicated the disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein in numerous instances of SA and H spanning decades. Subsequently, Weinstein faced legal proceedings and was ultimately convicted of felony S crimes, and R.
Harvey Weinstein was surrounded by allegations going back decades from women who said that he harassed and assaulted.
The trial and sentencing of Harvey Weinstein served as a catalyst for the global #MeToo and #TimesUp movements within the entertainment industry. Following his legal proceedings, numerous actors, production staff, and individuals from various backgrounds came forward to share their personal accounts of alleged misconduct.
More than 60 women have come forward to accuse Weinstein of harassment and
In the same year, Bill Cosby faced trial on allegations of D and SA women dating back decades. Following a jury trial, he was found guilty and sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison. However, Cosby's legal situation took a turn when, in June 2021, he was released from state prison. This release occurred after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court determined that his conviction had been overturned. The court ruled that Cosby had been denied his rights when providing self-incriminating evidence in a civil lawsuit, and that evidence had subsequently been used to convict him in the criminal case.
Bill Cosby, once a beloved TV dad, and tonight a judge now determining that he is a predator, ordering Cosby be cuffed and immediately sent to prison.
Joe has raised a critical concern by pointing to these examples and individuals who contribute to making the entertainment industry increasingly challenging for women. He asserts that it remains a difficult path for females to pursue their dreams in this field because they often face objectification and mistreatment. He said, "Of course, that's why they're all crazy." He then added, "In the Hollywood, it's even worse, right? Because you don't get to choose your own destiny." Joe's observations caused a stir among people, and everybody came up with his own emotions. One person wrote, "I'm still in college and I'm scared to enter the working life because of such disgusting stories of how people behave. Whether it's education, military, hotel resorts, people are awful everywhere, and especially as a woman, I am terrified of this world." Another one added, "It's about time the rich and famous get busted for their outlandish behaviors just because they have so much dollar to spend, and they think they deserve so much more than the average person. So happy this is finally being divulged. Thank you." Joe's concerns have definitely highlighted the need for a more inclusive and respectful environment within the industry to ensure that aspiring women can pursue their careers without fear of or discrimination. That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.